Hey metalheads, you like tattoos? Of course you do. If you're in the Louisville, Kentucky area, come on over the bridge to Clarksville, Indiana, and get you some ink done at Ageless Art. If ink isn't your thing, they have a piercing studio as well. Visit agelessartclarksville.com to see some frequently asked questions, meet the staff. The shop is open Monday through Thursday, 12 to 8 p.m., Saturdays, 12 to 10 p.m., and Sundays, 12 to 6 p.m., all appointment-only spots. You can set up your appointments by phone at 812-283-1793 or email agelessarttatoosandpiercing@gmail.com and someone will get you set up for your first or your next tattoo or piercing.
Hey metalheads, after going to a rager, what's your ultimate go-to? Mine is totally pizza. So when Overload is playing or I'm promoting the Metal Forge live showcases or the big goddamn metal show, I go to Pizza Donisi. Pizza Donisi is gourmet artisan pizza from right here in Louisville, Kentucky. It features things like the pizza of the month, the sandwiches, and also vegetarian and vegan options, which is so totally fucking cool for all of it's awesome pizza. You definitely want to go. Hey, and also from time to time they do cannolis. Oh, so fucking good. You know what they said, man? Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Yeah, just like that in Godfather. They're located right next to the Mag Bar at 1396 South 2nd Street. So either stop in or call in at 502-213-0488. They're open till midnight. The witching hour.
As dawn approaches, the red sun in the sky. This is just the devil.
Hey metalheads, you all hear me talk about Mag Bar all the time. It is the home to the Metal Forge live showcases and is an integral stop in the Ultimate Underground Metal Tour schedule. They obviously feature live music, but the Mag Bar also has daily specials like Pint and Slice Night on Tuesdays with Pizza Donisi. But they also do Bring Your Own Vinyl on Thursdays with DJ Kent Jackson, and Finer Things Sundays. Located right next to Pizza Donisi at 1398 South 2nd Street, open 3 p.m. to 4 a.m. 7 days a week. Get your asses out to the Mag Bar. Rock out. For 45 years in keeping Louisville weird, Electric Ladyland has been there for all your eccentricities. While they do offer the best smoking supplies out on the market today, there's a whole lot more to check out. From ashtrays and blacklight posters, to records, incense and burners, and items to stock your metaphysical supply. They're open from 10 to 10, 7 days a week. Located at 2325 Bardstown Road in Louisville, Kentucky, and at electricladyland420.com. Roll out.
Thank you for tuning into the Metal Forge. I am Mark Jackson and I am your host. The premise of the show is pretty simple. Awesome interviews and awesome music. If you want to contact me, hit me up at metalforgeradio@gmail.com or visit the website metalforgeradio.com. And now, let's get this show on the road.
What's going on, metalheads? Thank you all for tuning in to this week's episode of the Metal Forge. My name is Mark Jackson, and I am your host. Wow, I haven't done that for a very long time. This week is a bit of a reforged episode. Yeah, because as you all know, over the birthday celebration weekend of April 28th and 9th, just here last weekend, or, 2 weeks ago, because Derby and all that shit, which I didn't even watch. I came home from work, I did an interview, I inadvertently fell asleep, and slept through another interview that I had to reschedule and felt like shit because I was like, dudes, I am so sorry. I completely fell asleep, man. I have no excuse. And they were totally cool. They will be on the show here in a couple of weeks. Stay tuned for that news. But this week, a reforged episode. As I'm talking, see, I'm already tangenting as it is. I have not just Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland in the studio here. I have all the members of Temptations Wings. We've got Ryan, Chad, Micah, and Jason. They were all here a couple of weeks ago. We did this interview, just more or less just a whatever and like a bullshit session. I thought it was such a fun deal. I already released it to the Patreon subscribers out there as an exclusive with no monologue or songs or anything. But this week, I wanted to release it so everybody could hear it and hear how they were having such a good time in the Louisville, Kentucky, the southern Indiana, Kentuckiana area, and getting to play during Derby weeks and shit like that, which is awesome. So a little bit of info here, the long and winding road, as it were. So the original episode was on 2/4 of 22, and I had Jason on Zoom that night, and we had talked about Temptations Wings and then that was also around the same time I was putting out some feelers for people to see if they wanted to come on the show and do some album reviews and just hot takes and stuff like that. And Jason jumped to the chance to do it, and he still does this segment here. He's actually came in and done some interviews with me, and we have started a podcast network called the Flamekeeper. And it's totally fucking rad. I'm having such a good time doing it. Jason is a great dude to throw these ideas and shit off of, to say, hey man, what do you think of this? Do you think something like this would work? And he's quick to dismiss it if he doesn't think it's a good idea. And if he thinks it's a great idea, he's quick to be like, hey man, that's a good fucking idea. You should do that. And be on the lookout for some awesome Flamekeeper stuff coming up. I can't talk about a lot of it, but some of it, you're gonna fucking be surprised, and it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be rad. Building the scene one day at a time, one band at a time, one new episode of the Metal Forge, the Mudhorn and the Alehorn, and Unsleeved at a time. Metal every fucking day, people. Seriously, as I've gotten older, and now that I just turned 40 a couple of weeks ago, I'm really starting to look back on a lot of shit, look back on times in my 20s and 30s and just reminisce and be like, man, I remember when that was super fucking cool. Or I remember when this band released this song and everybody turned on them. Shit like that. It's interesting how you think about it. And, having a love for archival stuff, just, hey, I want to record as many episodes and talk to as many bands as possible, in the scene and shit like that, because that's what it's all about for me, man. It's all about the metal, and, it's all about, just turning bands on to my friends and shit, curating this awesome fucking playlist of life. That's the way I see it anyway. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this with Temptations Wings from Asheville, North Carolina. This is I Destroyer.
listen well, for I'll say them but once. My clan is slain and my home is gone. A fiery hell, cold-blooded death and hate. You know of an island to the east, a simple man and miracles of steel. I seek location of the isle. Spill your guts or die upon your heel. Cause me means certain death. Come to me if you're ready, but hear these words. I will end your life without remorse. A roll ride is a giant mercy strike. Mammoth bone flails through the air. With a howl, my hammer strikes the knee. In searing pain, his words flowing free.
Metalheads, it is time. It's not Vader time, which, you know, the old WWF fans out there know exactly who the fuck I'm talking about. No, I'm actually being joined here in person at the Metal Forge with Jason Gardner from the Heavy Metal Wasteland.
Hello.
And the rest of the dudes in Temptation's Wings. We have Chad. Say hello.
Hey,
it's audio. It's not visual. You gotta say hello into the microphone. And
guitar's not in my hands. I don't know what to do with myself.
exactly. And this is like this is kind of like Radioland. So if you can get a little closer to the mic when you're talking. And yeah, you know, and because I only have two mics, y'all are gonna have to share. One of y'all have to probably sit on each other's laps or something, which I'm gonna be filming. Not at all. We have Micah.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, dude, vocals and guitar, right? And we have Ryan over here, which is bass, and that's it.
Yeah, I'm just a bass player.
Holy shit, man. It's like, I feel you, brother. And like seeing you guys last night, dude, like fucking like, I was talking with Sean from Rifle, and he is a Fender guy. He's straight up fucking like, his two Fenders, you know, yeah, he's modded the fuck out of them and shit. And woo, yeah, there we go.
Those were the fretless ones, right?
Yes. So yeah, he totally did that and was just like, holy shit, man.
Oh, like he ripped the frets out?
Oh, no. He actually bought like the Warmoth fretless necks.
Okay.
But dude, I was like, man, his fucking tone is awesome. And talking about yours, and he was like, dude, I love it. And he is total 60. Those are like a 68 and a 69 or a 70 P bass, you know. So he's totally old school when it comes to that. So fuck yeah, man. How the fuck are you all doing? You know, the Magbar show was kind of what it was. I mean, it's a Friday in Louisville, and which is usually kind of hit or miss sometimes.
Yeah, it was good. You know, long drive up, but had a good night, played well, and enjoyed all the bands. It was fun.
Right on. Anything in particular? Did you like the venue?
Yeah, the venue was cool. I liked the room, and definitely the sounds, the stage and sound were really good. And it was nice to have a pizza place next door too. That was
Ah,
cool.
yes.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Always a perk.
Drunk food, pizza Donisi is the greatest. You know, and I love that place so much. And being diabetic, I don't get it that often because of the carbs and the crust and shit. But it does not last to the next day. If you eat it hot, and that's it, because it becomes a fucking cardboard box the next day. Like, the fiber is definitely there, and it's almost like if you've ever watched any like competitive eating challenges or anything, where these guys eat like the fucking hot dogs, and you just like fucking, you see them dipping the fucking buns in the water and shit. You almost have to do it with that too. They messed up my order one time, and it was so fucking good that they messed it up, because I was just like, fuck, man, I didn't want red onions on this fucking thing. And then I ate it, and I was like, fuck, man, I'm glad they fucked it up. It is. It's such good drunk food pizza. You know, and that is one of the good things about Louisville, is we do have a couple of those spots, like Spinelli's is another one. They're the ones that do like the Brooklyn style pizza with fucking, it's like an 18-inch fucking slice. It's like $7 for the one slice, but it's so good.
Nice.
Well worth it.
Oh, hell yeah. So what else did y'all dig about Louisville so far?
That's a cool town, man. We took us to the record store today. That was a lot of fun. Just, enjoying the scenery and getting ready for tonight.
Definitely.
We're at the gig at, what's the name of the place?
Losers 812, or 812 as Jason calls it.
There we go.
Yeah, I mean, I learned how to count numbers a long time ago, so it just looks like it comes after 811, so it's 812.
Right. So see, that's the whole thing, and then that's what I explained to Jason too. Was like, back in the day here, the music scene was divided by the river. So you had what was the 502, which is the Louisville part of the scene, and then you had the 812, which is the Indiana side, which is all area code based, right? And then back in the day, it was like a fucking pride thing, It's like, fuck yeah, I'm fucking part of the 812. Yeah, it's like, fuck.
Do you guys throw rocks at each other across the riverway?
Almost,
yeah.
And I mean, like you had your crowds though. You had the people who would go from Indiana to Louisville to see shows and to watch your friends' bands play. You didn't have a lot of the same back then, though. You didn't have a lot of the bands that would come from Louisville. You would have them come over to Indiana to play, but there was almost like they'd have like a different fan base over in Indiana, which is totally fucking rad, because it's just, it's that whole everybody had a scene thing, back in the day. And then, back, pre-internet, when the internet's early shit, we had seen the scene where it was just like, even farther north, we had a little bit of a scene where it was just like, real small town type shit, right? You play your fucking VFW halls, because, yeah, you had bars, but none of us were old enough to get in, so we weren't playing the bars. So, yeah, we just totally would do that shit even. Awesome. So, which is awesome. And I think, watching your scene grow as you get older, and, while, like we were talking with the Vault Wraith guy about how he was saying the thing about the 40-year-olds complaining about the turnout.
Yeah.
Which, we both kind of were like, ah, man. But we both get it. Jason's heard that interview so far. But, like, it's fun still to this day to watch and see, like, how your scene grows. Like, what about for you all? How has the Asheville scene grown since you started in it?
Dude, to be honest, I think we're the only band that's still around since we started in 2007.
Right.
Yeah, so we're like tenured. And like I don't know how many bands have like come and gone, including like a band that these two guys were in.
Okay.
That we absorbed them and took them from their families.
You took them under your Temptations wings?
Yeah, we took them from their families. Like, you're going to play these songs now.
Oh, wow.
No, it wasn't like that. But yeah, it's like, I don't know. It ebb and flows. Like, there's like a big deathcore like sect right now.
Okay.
And I suspect in like 3 or 4 years all will be gone. It's just the way it seems to go.
A lot of our venues got closed down, especially when COVID hit.
Right.
And I was looking at some of our old posters in our practice space. I was like, well, that place doesn't exist anymore. That place doesn't exist, and we're starting to run out of places in town to even play.
Right, and that's all.
R.I.P. Mothlight, by the way.
Yeah.
See, and that's completely awful. And Louisville's taking the hit too, like pretty fucking hardcore, and it sucks because like, you remember these places, and it's almost so unattainable now to even open a venue because the cost of living and inflation has been so fucking awful that you're just like, geez, what used to be like, maybe $150,000, $200,000 investment total all in is now like $1 million investment. Especially with like fucking beer and alcohol and insurance. Yeah, it's like for the quote, the little guy out there, it's a fucking nightmare. And you almost can't do it and still operate a full-time job. Jason, you might be able to because of Thumbtack, but
the city permits also.
Yeah. Now, how is Asheville when it comes to that? Because there's certain places that are like dry county type shit in Kentucky. I'm sure y'all have got shit like that too.
Not so much anymore. Like the county me and Micah live in used to be dry up to about 11 years ago.
What was the first places that started selling alcohol down there? When it became not dry, other than gas stations, because the gas stations would sell beer, I'm sure.
Well, no, it was actually backwards. Like townships could sell their own beer and wine. The county, you couldn't sell it in. So, like, if you're like the Citgo on the side of the road, there was no beer. But if you're like in downtown Marshall and you had a store, you could sell beer.
Interesting.
But then the grocery store moved in, and they just built like a cooler ready for beer, and they just put like greeting card section in there. And then like as soon as like the county passed it, like those cards were like moved out of the way, and the beer was,
ready to go. Ready to go by.
Yeah.
Now, you're beer drinkers and you're Hellraisers.
Yes.
I was going there. You got me. What's your brand? What's a particular brand that you really are like, that's your go-to if you have it, if you have to?
Oh, man.
How much time you got?
It's tough. Sometimes people in Asheville sometimes get labeled as snobs, so I don't want to sound that way. There's a lot of breweries in Asheville.
Right.
Have you been to Asheville?
I have not.
You got to come see us sometime. We'll take you on a tour.
I'm going to come and see you guys in Nashville in November for Steel and Stone.
Okay.
I'm coming down for that.
All right. Come up a day early. We'll figure something out.
Check local listings.
Or the day after, because it's on a Friday this year, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. Which is great.
I might drive separate than the band, just so I can
stay
hang
Saturday,
out an extra day.
and then sleep late Sunday.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I'd say
I got this nice Airbnb cabin that I'm looking at.
Well, we'll see if it's open.
Absolutely. I'd say of the Asheville beers, there's a lot. There's Sierra Nevada, there's New Belgium, or the bigger names in there.
See, we get those up here.
But you have them here. They have just the actual breweries there, and then they've got Highlands, kind of a local one that's really good. But my favorite's probably Burial. They really good beer, and they also just have kind of a doom scene. If you ever go to their site, burialbeer.com, I think, they've got a lot of really cool Doom-inspired clothing, but it's really weird because it's right in the middle of downtown Asheville, and they have a huge following. I mean, people go there a lot, so we're hopeful.
Now, are they the same company that does they do like, doesn't Weedian have a beer that's through them?
I believe so. I think I saw that. And
it's like the 420 infused is what it is.
Yep.
I think I've got some coasters from it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That, I'm stupid, and I have that sense of redneck in me where I have family members that keep the fucking cottage cheese containers because, hey, you can put leftovers in that shit. You know what I'm talking about. But see, I do this dumb shit where I get all stupid artsy craftsy, and I Mod Podge coasters that I like, so I can keep them forever because my friends' bands put out coasters. I got a couple Motorhead ones, so yeah. Nice. I think I've got a few coasters from there. It's like this stupid collection thing that I do. It's like collecting beer coasters because why the fuck not?
Yeah.
Some of them look fucking cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah,
you get David Paul Seymour fucking artwork on them.
Now he does a lot of their artwork, or he's done artwork for them before.
That's he always posts about it online. He's like, "Hey, this design's for sale, but if you're a beer company, you can't use it. It's not for sale for you."
We were fortunate enough to work with him on the Skullthor album. That was Jason's doing.
Absolutely, and he's a badass, man. One of the bands that I'm sure in the metal section over at Better Days you all saw, there was a band called Blind Scryer. Their first album had artwork from him as well. And like, I love looking up his Metal Archive page just to see what he's working on. He does a fuck ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, legit.
Well, yeah, man. So beer-wise, for sure, Burial would be my choice. You can get a basic beer, or you can get as crazy as they'll do like a donut porter, and you get a fresh made donut that comes from the place next door on top of it. And
Jesus,
stuff like that. So it's amazing. it's good stuff.
It's crazy. You would think that they would offer that with like a milk stout or something.
It's a donut porter. It's heavy. It's really good. It's one time a year. It's like one weekend out of the year, I want to say, and it's fresh made. And it's really cool. So
hell yeah,
cool stuff. That would be my choice anyway.
Fuck yeah, the donut porter, Micah.
I would probably go with a Pisgah Pale Ale. It's just a pale ale, but it's really good. From Pisgah Brewing, which Mount Pisgah is one of the big mountains down there. So
okay,
they just named themselves after that, and they just do a pale ale that's just really good.
See, I have not personally. I just can't do pale ales. I can't do APAs or IPAs. It's just, I don't know. It's too fucking much. Now, I love shit like Guinness that's heavy and stout like a motherfucker. But pale ales are just, I don't know what it is, man. I just don't have the palate for it. I want to like claw my eyes out drinking it. I'm like, I hate this so fucking much. Why do I drink this shit?
Yeah. You have to start the day with a Pilsner and then work your way up from Pilsner to Pale Ale and then IPA. And then once you get the palate cleanse where you can actually enjoy it, then you can just go in any direction.
See, I enjoy a nice like double or triple, like a Belgian. Like Westmalle is really fucking good. I like that. So we got the donut porter, the pale ale. Ryan,
probably my go-to is a place called Hillman, and they're kind of in the artsy district of downtown Asheville, and it's just a local guy just started up brewing.
No shit.
And he's got a great IPA. I'm an IPA drinker, so
yeah. Gosh, no wonder I'm sitting in a corner over here. I'm just going to turn my fucking chair around.
I used to not be able to do the IPA, and
the more bitter the better.
I actually made myself only drink IPAs for like a month. Now this time I was drinking probably way too much per day. A 6-pack per day, I'd say, or every other day, which sounds like a problem now that I say it out loud. But we'll talk about that.
I know people who are worse.
But I made myself do that because I kept hearing like how magical IPAs were, and I'd get the bitter beer face when I'd drink one. Oh God! Yeah. But after just drinking nothing but straight IPAs, I now really like them and I enjoy them. But I had to literally, it's like one of the few things where I was like, I'm gonna just drink these until I get used to the taste of it, and then once you get there, it's like you can have one and enjoy it. But it took a hot minute though.
For sure. And it almost seems like with the IPAs and regular pale ales, they're not like the Pilsner selection where you get like a like a diabetic friendly, like a no carb or low carb version of them. There's almost not that, right. Which is another thing too. So like I'd have to lay off the beer like. Yeah. The one PBR you watched me drink yesterday, I was like, all right. And I was like, I'm going to be paying for this tomorrow. My sugar's going to be like 470. No.
We don't consider PBR water.
Right.
We consider it water.
Absolutely. It's just as good as Deer Mountain or what the fuck.
Yeah, if you've ever gotten a DUI on a PBR, Bud Light or something, you're not really a man.
Oh, listen to him. Was that your first one? Did you get was your first DUI?
I've never had one. Not yet. I probably never will. I don't drink that much anymore.
Right.
But my go-to is Green Man Oktoberfest.
Right on.
Oh, that is good.
Yeah. I buy a bunch in the summertime, and I just make them last till they come back out.
Right. I get that.
Because in August is when Oktoberfest comes out, and by the time it's actually fall, they're gone. So you have to stock up.
So let me ask you this: with buying the beer that you get, and you're all local breweries down there and shit like that. There's the O word. I said it. That's the one for the episode.
Yes.
So with it, are you the ones who sit there and you buy because most of the craft beers come in 4-packs, as opposed to a 6er, right? Now, if you're not like drinking them like bam, 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 do you seriously look at it and you're like, this has been in here for a week. It's probably no good anymore. Because I know people who are that way. Like, well, we bought them a week ago. It's probably already went stale.
Dude, I have beer in my fridge 3 years old that I wouldn't be afraid to open up and drink right now. I mean, it's bottled and sealed. As long as the cap hasn't been busted, it's good.
Yeah, but you wouldn't drink a crystal clear Pepsi from 1992, would you?
I probably would.
It's still bottled and sealed.
I miss clear Pepsi.
It hasn't been cracked open.
Yeah, but I mean,
You should be good.
Did you guys get the Dale Earnhardt Sundrop bottles here back in the day?
no.
Okay. I don't know if you even have Sundrop out this way, but
Is that like soda?
it is. It's like Mountain Dew, but it's made in Charlotte.
I think ours is called Squirt.
Oh, okay.
It's like a lemon. It's kind of like a lemon lime soda, but it's kind of hazy. It
Nice.
kind of looks like the liquid in the lava lamp out front.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what it
Well,
is.
Dale Earnhardt's from
Charlotte.
Kannapolis, which
Kannapolis,
is where I
yeah.
grew up, and they had a run in like '92 of limited edition Sundrop bottles with Dale Earnhardt, which I think my dad still has. Maybe.
Oh, really?
I'd drink one of those. Just
No, we got
because
the stupid. We got like the cereal boxes from like where like Terry Labonte was on like a fucking cereal, like the Richard Childress cars were on cereal boxes. We got those, and like when Dale Earnhardt was on Wheaties, when they sponsored him for the fucking the Coca-Cola 600 at Charlotte.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that shit. I was that guy. I had that shit. Fuck yeah. So, with you all not being out on the road since 2019, are you enjoying it? Are you having fun away from the families right now?
No, the family needs to come with us next time.
Wow, really? No, I mean, that's a big thing though, because a lot of people do that now. A lot of people take their families with them because that's just the way the demographic has shifted for that.
Yeah.
I actually offered just because I have kids and I know there's stuff around town that would be fun, and sometimes I wonder about what we do during the day. I think one of our big takeaways from the last little mini tour we did was like actually realizing that there's a full day before the show.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You find yourself going, what are we going to do?
Right.
And you just kind of sit there stale and don't do anything, and it kind of takes away a little bit from it. I mean, it's exciting when the show gets there, but that was one of those things I did offer. I was like, hey, if you guys want to come, not that we'd be taking the whole family on a whiskey tour or anything like that, but there's some fun stuff out here.
Yeah, there's
to
a
do.
ton of whiskey tours around this area. I mean, Angel's Envy downtown, Louisville does stuff. You've got the Jim Beam distilleries, Jeff the Creed, all of that stuff. The Bourbon Trail, they totally do. I actually have a friend who's a master distiller for French Lick, Indiana, which is where Larry Bird's from.
Oh, nice.
And he's the master distiller out there. And, dude, they put out some great fucking corn-based bourbon and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. And technically, they say it's not bourbon because it's not from Kentucky. But, the whole, it's all rooted through this area. The whole Bourbon Trail shit is. Even, because you get, back in the fucking the 1800s, the fucking great grandfathers of all the fucking the Beams and shit fight with each other, and they were like, fuck you, I'll go make my own, and that's what they did. And then they'd move up to fucking French Lick and shit because they're 100 miles away or some shit like that from the next fucking brother that they can't stand. So fuck, man. Do you all dig liquor though? Are you bourbon drinkers? Are you vodka drinkers? I know, Jason, you seem like you'd be getting sloshed on Jaeger or something. You seem
I don't really like liquor
at all.
Not really. I like it mixed sometimes.
Right.
But as far as going out and doing shots, I don't. I actually, when people buy me shots at bars, I just turn them down or just give it to somebody else.
Aw.
Because I usually have to drive.
Right. You're the band. You do seem like the band dad.
Well, it's because I'm old and have gray hair.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. I'm the oldest, but Mike is right behind me, and I'm getting ready to pawn off all my responsibilities on him.
Yeah, because
as a fellow 40-year-old Survivor.
Right? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm a fellow survivor at this point. I mean,
Yeah, I feel
it's
like
been
I'm
a couple of
with my
days
Yeah.
for me being 40 now, and yeah, I feel
How you liking it?
dude, like, I thought it was going to be different, honestly.
Oh, just wait.
I thought I was going to wake up and it'd be different, and then I got fucking hung up on and cussed out on the phone at work. And I was like, well, this shit ain't fucking changed a bit.
It's not. Life doesn't really change. Just like sometimes you wake up and you have chronic shoulder pain for a year with no explanation, and then one day you wake up and it's just gone with no explanation. Or
Right.
your hip feels like it's about to break in half after standing on it for 2 hours. Or you have 2 young kids and you're like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Right?
Yeah.
No, see, my thing is like, I'm a big dude, right? Fucking my ankles last night were on fucking fire after standing around the entire night. Because I didn't sit down I don't sit down the whole fucking show until, like, the last band is off stage, and then I'll sit fucking down. You know, I'm constantly fucking walking around and doing shit. Fucking, hey, are you all good? Are you all good? You know, all of that shit with everybody. I even asked the fucking bartenders at my shows. I was like, hey man, Steven, you good, man? Yeah, man, good. It's just me. It's just what I do. I mean, how many times did I ask you last night? Probably fucking 14 times. And then, Jason, you good? You good, man? You good? Right? You good?
Venues with concrete floors, I've noticed, are like way tougher to deal with than like wood floors.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean,
There's like no give at all.
oh no. And you know, you were telling me before about the other 3 guys being in the parts business or dealership business and stuff like that. And I know from prime example, like when you're standing behind the counter at the fucking auto. Oh my God, he killed us! Ah! That's why I said you got to be careful with that.
I was being careful, but I have the same one, and it comes up all the time. Go ahead, keep talking. I got this.
No, it's like, hang on, I'm gonna wait. Hey Siri, turn here. I'll fucking just do it here.
Sorry.
This is the beauty part of editing shows.
Yeah. You should leave that in there.
There. Is that better?
Yeah. Start over.
And he's gonna hit him in the face with the mic. Bah! Fuck!
My God, that man's got a family.
That man has a family. Yes, he's got a chair, big man. That's one of our constant jokes at practice too.
I frequently go back and watch old WWF reruns.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I still watch the WrestleMania 12 ladder match.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is that Michaels?
Michaels and Hart.
Okay.
Or no, I said the ladder match.
Razor Ramon?
I said the ladder match. I meant the Iron Man match.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I still go back and watch that. Give me 1 second here. This is all edited out. 7? Enter there. So, anyways, back to where we were talking about you all are no strangers to the parts counter type shit. So, like, I was raised in a store where you stood the fuck up all day long.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and on that fucking concrete floor the entire fucking day. Now, like, I'm able to sit down at the store. We got a stool that's good enough, and I was like, fuck, man, this is great. So, yeah, the venue floors that are all concrete fucking suck. I mean, yeah, it makes for good, easy load in and shit because you're not getting all of the wood floor and fucking the casters on the cabinets and shit getting caught. But fuck, man. So yeah.
When you go to a show like a paid show, do you stand or do you get seats?
Depends on. Do you mean like an arena show?
Arena, yep.
Arena shows, dude. I'm old enough now. I'm not gonna fucking stand.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get the seats, and and the last show that I did that at, where I didn't get a seat, was Louder Than Life in 2021, and Metallica played, and I actually made it to about 15 feet from the fucking rail, and I felt like I was gonna die because it was so fucking packed full of people, and I'm not a tall guy. When you get fucking like dudes who are like 6'4" and shit all around you, and the crowd and everybody's packed in like fucking sardines, and one person falls down and then the whole rest of the crowd shifts. And then somebody falls down over here, and the crowd shifts the other direction. Somebody in the front falls, and it's constantly doing this. And you're in the wave, and it fucking sucks. And like, it was so hot. It was a Sunday. It was at the end of September. It smelled like piss because it's an all weekend show, and the people are fucking trying to sleep down there and shit too because they want the best they want the rail spot. And for me, like, I was like, dudes, I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I'm trying to go backwards. You can't go backwards because they're all pushing against you to go forward, right? And I was crowd surfed out of that fucking pit. And, like, as soon as I went over the rail and hit the fucking ground, it was the coldest and most freshest air I've ever smelled or breathed in my life. It was just so good. I was like, oh, this is so great. But yeah, no, man, I totally go for the fucking seats these days because it's like, you know, most of the bands, I've seen a lot of fucking bands as it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been in the pit for most of them. So yeah, buying the fucking seats is fine with me.
You got your pit pass. That's how I am now. I just, I'm seats all the way now. I hit that age. Just sit. And then I try to stand for the main act, though. I don't like when people sit when the main act's playing. I do stand up for that, but it's nice to have that moment to sit down.
Wait, everyone's sitting for us tonight, Chad. Remember you said that.
Yeah, you know. Well, honestly, the good thing about Losers is there's not really any seats other than at the bar. There's a couple of tables here and there, but it's mostly standing room only.
We're going to take those away.
Yes. Yeah. You're going to take away the bar seats?
Yeah.
Put them on stage with you. Just all of you sit.
Oh, we sit, yeah.
I will be.
No, you have to stand.
Okay.
Dude, you could be like Slim Jim Phantom. Fucking stand while you play.
Play like a stand-up drum kit.
Yeah. There was a band I saw in Ozfest one year called Push Monkey that did that. The dude played standing up. And he played with his hands.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was just like total hand drum shit. But I mean, he was on fucking point, man. It was good shit. But
real quick,
where are they at now?
Before we move on, about the crowd movement.
Yeah.
My favorite one is when someone leaves and like 6 people try to take that one
Oh,
spot.
yeah.
And it's like, dude, come on with this, you know? It's like, why am I getting shifted out of the way? I didn't leave.
Right.
You know?
You know which ones that I really like? Is the ones where the fucking, like, the alpha fucking males just charge through, and they just like the shoulder block, and as they're trying to make it down to the fucking front, it's like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah, you'll have a group of like 5 or 6 of them just come barrel rolling through there.
Yep.
Dude, me and Michael were at a Clutch show years and years and years ago, and I'm gonna be mean. This big, huge, fat motherfucker came rolling through, like just push people away. And me and Michael actually tried to push him out of the way, and like we sank into his fucking stomach. And he didn't even know we were trying. Like, we were literally hands on him, like, trying to push him. Because we were just standing there. He just, like, barreled through. And we were not trying to push him. And this guy was just, like, he didn't even know we were trying.
This guy was massive. Yeah. I mean, he had to be 6'8", 6'10".
Oh, my God.
And, like, just massive.
Kind of sounds like Yokozuna.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Like, who's got to think, like, compare it to? Yeah, this dude was...
The Blob from X-Men.
It was insane.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah.
That's what me and Michael felt like we were like sinking into him. Like, dude, I'm suffocating.
Dude, that's hardcore. You know, and that's what's so the fucking weird thing about all the shows that I've been to throughout my life. I actually watched a guy do that and get up to the rail, and some guy actually fucking, they did that too, pulled him out of the way, and he just turns around and fucking throat clutches the guy. Like right up under his fucking... And he's just like choking the dude that's trying to pull him off the rail away. And it's like, fuck, man. I was like 16 at that show. It was at an Ozfest.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
If he was already there, someone tried to take his spot, yeah.
No, he barreled up there.
Oh,
and he pushed the people out of the way, and then the fucking guy that he pushed out of the way, he's like trying to pull him back off the fucking rail, and he just turns around and is like grabs him by like the Vader. You know, like the Vader throat hold, but he's actually on him. It's like, fuck,
I was
this
gonna
dude's
say,
hardcore.
they should make it like Royal Rumble rules. If you get tossed over the front gate, you have to go all the way to the back. You know, it'd be like watching a
well,
Royal
it kind
Rumble.
of is that way.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
like,
because I didn't make it back up to the
it'd
front.
be like a Royal Rumble match. You'd have somebody hanging on and 5 guys trying to throw him over the front
Fucking
gate.
imagine being like Shawn Michaels for that. Skin the cat where he flips back over the top rope. Fuck, man. Just flip back over the rail. Like, the last time I saw Testament, there was a kid that way. He was probably 18, 19, but he fucking surfed like 20 fucking times. I'm there trying to take pictures within like the first 3 songs. He came through at least 6 times in the first 3 songs. Like, over the rail, almost hitting the other photographers and shit. And it's like, come on, dude. And it's like, as I'm like standing off to the side of the stage, he's still doing it the rest of the set. And I'm like, hey, it's you again. He's like, ah. It's like, he was having the fucking time of his life because it was like his first like big show kind of thing.
Nice.
It's like, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
You enjoy that shit while you're fucking young enough to. But yeah, so that was one of my weirdest concert experiences is my big ass crowd surfing, you know, for the first and only time I've ever done it. And it's like, it's definitely interesting. And I was just like, I'm like hands in my pockets because I don't want to lose my shit because I'm wearing just the battle vest, you know, and like, oh fuck, don't want to lose my fucking phone in this fucking mess, you know. And the Goon Squad, as soon as I went over and was like laid there and let my eyes and shit adjust, he's like, you gotta go. I'm like, fuck off, dude. Leave me alone. Let me fucking breathe. And then I fucking felt horrible. Like, so fucking sore, like, immediately.
Yeah.
It was like I was in a fucking car wreck, honestly,
Right.
from all of the fucking people pushing against us. It's like, fuck that.
Well, so did you hit the ground when you surfed? Did you like come down to the ground pretty hard? Because I've seen
too.
that quite a bit.
Yeah, I came down pretty hard on the other side of the barricade. Yeah,
Yeah, the good.
but like getting to see Rob Trujillo's face go, like, what the fuck? It's like, you know, it definitely gives me a whole new like understanding to have people like to do that because of you know, I've seen pictures of people in wheelchairs that are crowd surfing, and it's so fucking rad to see. You know, like all of that shit is it is a brotherhood, and it is, you know, it is fun, which is like, you know, why you guys are here, because not only is it cool because I get to finally meet Jason because of working together for, you know, the past year and having him on the show to promote you guys back last year. And now it's like, holy fuck, you know, this is actually a cool deal. This is fun. And I told him last night, I was like, man, I'm glad you guys are here. And he's like, fuck yeah. And it is fun. You know, you get to see a little bit of our scene and hopefully later this year, next year, what the fuck? It's not December yet.
No, it's not.
Hopefully later this year, it'll be just as cool coming to Asheville for Overload.
Yeah, it'll be good. Like I said, there's only two bands from the area that are playing that show. Everyone else is from.
He knows how I feel about that. I'll spare everybody the L word issue. I'll tell you off air. How's that sound? It's about to pop back off again.
Yes.
We're fumbling with the mics over here. So obviously, by the time this airs, this might be like a Patreon exclusive interview. So for now, I might just like immediately cut this out and just upload it to Patreon today.
Yeah, sure.
Today. So we're gonna go with, Derailed. How's that sound? Jason, you're familiar with the Derailed concept.
Yes.
Derailed is 5 questions and any answers. You know, what happens, you know. No holds barred. Okay? So,
Great Hulk Hogan movie too, by the way.
oh God, no. I will not be around when this check clears. So, yeah, this is, like I said, this is no holds barred. So these are random fucking questions from the interview decks that I subscribe to. So I don't know what's going to come up. If I look at it and I'm like, nah, that's a shitty question, I'm not going to ask it. But I am going to ask this, and it's 5 questions, and you each get a chance to answer. What is the meanest thing that you've ever done?
Not the meanest thing.
Ryan, come on. You told that chick she was fat, didn't you? And you're like, you told the crackhead to sober the fuck up yesterday, didn't you? And you're like, and then I'll come back.
Well, I've told off some homeless people around town, But yeah, I don't.
You seem pretty mellow, pretty low key.
Yeah, we're all kind of that way.
I try
It's
to
a
be,
tough one.
I just.
Jason,
Ryan's probably pretty savage in card games, I would say.
oh, are you like? Is this a joke? I mean, like, are you like
he was
the
in the
one?
Magic? I didn't know he was in the Magic, the Gathering style stuff till today. So that was amazing.
I play with some guys that take it pretty serious, but I'm just there to drink some beer and just hang out with people.
Right on.
You know?
Now, do you do the whole Friday night Magic thing?
I've never done that. Me and some guys from work do it on Saturday.
Dude, you should do a draft sometime.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it online before.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, but you don't get to keep the cards.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't get to open. You don't get to crack those fresh packs, man.
That's true.
Come on, I know what it's about. So nothing for you. You can't think of one, Micah. What's the meanest thing you've ever done? You double charged somebody at the dealership, didn't you?
I did. I do that a lot, actually, on purpose. So I'm gonna say, I used to do wrestling in high school.
All right. So what was the meanest thing you ever done, Micah?
So I used to wrestle in high school, and they would make us mop the wrestling mat every so often, just because it gets really nasty. You know?
Yeah, ringworm, man.
So this was my junior year, and I had a little bit of tenure on these freshmen, finally, and had been through all the, the hazing and shit like that.
That doesn't happen. Come on.
So there was a bunch of guys that grabbed this poor kid, and they yanked his pants down, and we mopped his ass.
Damn.
It was mean, and I felt horrible about it. I still kind of do. And it was a poor kid, and I befriended him later because I felt so horrible about it. But
Jason, how are you feeling now?
Oh, that's fine.
Wasn't you, was it?
No. I was older than Mike.
I know. You're being a dick.
I would have done it to him.
That's pretty hardcore.
It was very mean.
Yeah, we used to do that shit in like the weight room and shit when we were like we'd fucking like pull the fucking the bar out of the free weights and shove it down into the bottom. So then they don't see it, so they're trying to fucking lift the fucking weight, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Or we'll fucking just took the pen out completely, and they go to fucking pull the pressure down, and they just yank the son of a bitch to like at the hardest they could do it because they're trying to lift, and then they're just like, "What?" I get that, dude. Chad.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I was always pretty mellow. All my mean shit happened when I was a kid, like a little kid, I'd say. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the word. I'll bring up a childhood story.
Okay.
The meanest thing I've ever done. I think about it sometimes. So, both my grandfathers have now since passed away. But remember when I was like 8, my grandfather bought me a bow and arrow, and it was awesome. It was the coolest thing. We went to the store, picked it up. Went to the house, shot at a target he bought me, and he used to have these old camper trailers out in the back of his yard, and he went inside to do something, and me and my cousins were out there, and I started shooting the arrows towards the camper trailers, and I ended up taking out like 5 or 6 of his camper trailer windows.
Oh shit.
Thinking like, oh, this is fun, this is awesome, and it came out, and he was just like flipping out, because I'm thinking these are just old camper trailers. It turns out these are things that he actually uses.
Oh.
Being 8 years old and stupid, I was like, so I always think about, man, that was a cool day when you bought me a bow and arrow, and
You shot out all the fucking windows. Shit, man. Jason, can you top that? I feel like you can.
No, I was pretty mellow. I'm more of like a reactionary than a protagonist.
Okay.
Like I do remember, like I think I went to summer school in like 8th grade when I missed too many days and had to make them up. I remember this guy in high school was like saying something about like the hair on my arms, what I had to do to get the hair on my arms. I told him his mom didn't complain. He wanted to fight, and, and I was like, whatever.
Damn.
And I was like more like a smart ass like answer guy than like I'll meet you in the parking lot and fight.
Yeah, and then leave them there waiting on you.
Yeah, one guy I remember. I'll call this guy out. Him and his stupid fucking brother named Mitchell and Dennis Maley. This guy told me one time that he fought Chuck Norris and won. I mean, that's how stupid these guys are.
Oh my god!
But I remember his older brother heard that I made fun of little Mitchell, the guy who fought Chuck Norris, because he told me he fought Chuck Norris and won. That's why I made fun of him. And this guy came out there and like he was like pushed me against the wall, so I just like kicked him in the nuts and pushed him down the hill and finished my cigarette and went back inside. And because this guy was pretty big. So I was like...
So this wasn't even a school thing, was it?
Yeah, it was in school.
Oh, shit. Finished my cigarette. He was in 5th grade.
I was in like a 10th grade or 11th grade.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And then, so that was like... I was more like a reactionary than
a straight-up dick, yeah. If you could be any character in a movie, who would it be?
Captain Riker.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Captain Riker.
Wow.
Well, number one, Riker. Let's just say that.
Okay.
He was having a good time on the Enterprise. There was a...
But not Thomas.
No, not Thomas. No, we're not going to be Thomas.
No.
Yeah, I would be Will Riker.
Yeah, for sure.
Season 2 through 7, especially.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Because let's face it.
He didn't have the beard till 2, so...
Yeah, he had the weird fucking baby face in the first season, right?
Yeah.
And let's face it, man. Like Mariana Sirtis, fucking Deanna Troi was pretty roll fucking tide then. Especially like First Contact era. She was pretty roll tide then. Chad, character in a movie, who would you be?
I just want to say that was a really good, fast answer. Like, I feel like you've been waiting for somebody to ask that question.
He has been, I'm sure.
Instantly, like I was.
Dude, I've been watching a lot of Star Trek lately, Next Generation era, and so
nice.
I just kind of live with these characters for a lot of hours.
I think I would be any of the Ghostbusters.
You gotta go Winston, dude.
Yeah, you look like a Winston.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You're like, man, I just work here. I just work with these dudes.
Always fascinated by the Ghostbusters. Love the Love the reboot. Loved the last movie that came out. Thought that was really cool.
Do you like the reboot?
I did. The newest one. The newest one just came out last year or 2 years
ago. Not the Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy one.
This is the one that came out.
Yeah, is it a reboot or is it a sequel? I've always looked at it as a sequel.
It's a sequel, I should say. Yeah, it's a continuation of the original.
Yeah.
Story, so.
Yeah, and I liked it too. Afterlife.
Yeah, Afterlife.
Yeah, I like it too.
So, I would be any of the Ghostbusters. I think that's fascinating stuff. Proton packs and all that stuff is really cool. So
I liked him too. How he's like, it's the Scolari brothers. I sent them to the chair.
Yeah,
and they're fucking terrorizing the judge because the judge is such a bastard in that. And he always like Stuart Smalley's dad or whatever. He's in that. Micah. If you were a character in a movie, who would you be?
I'm gonna go with Luke Skywalker. I mean, he lived it up,
He kissed his sister.
Days. He did kiss his sister. Maybe I would skip that part.
Maybe Luke Skywalker Empire forward.
I mean, he lived it up.
Jedi forward.
He was clueless.
He did it. He did it in Empire.
That's right. Yeah.
Or she kissed him actually.
Yeah. Yes, she did.
Which I've always loved.
To get it Han, yeah.
I always love the Family Guy thing. She's like, well, it's kind of the Mississippi of the galaxy. Talking about Alderaan.
I mean, but yeah, he didn't know that his dad was gone or whatever, or he did, but he didn't seem to care. He was just living it up, shooting womp rats and,
back in his T-16, back
in
home.
his T-16 and cleaning the moisture converters and...
Yeah,
and then he gets to go on this big adventure through the galaxy.
Yeah, but the scene where when he rolls up on the homestead, that kind of sucks.
Pretty brutal.
That is,
yeah.
I love the fake figures lines, and they've got an Owen and Beru Lars skeleton figure.
It's charred, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Ryan.
I think I'd probably be a Paul Walker's character in Fast and Furious.
Oh my god! Are you serious? We were bagging on that shit earlier, and you just let it fucking sit there.
Yeah, I just let it sit there.
God damn!
He's like,
I mean,
believe these guys dog is the best.
Are you gonna
movie
be
in the
like
world.
Paul Walker's character in like 10? No. The fucking like Owen and Baru Lars.
Yeah, I mean, man, the later movies are kind of rough, but really the earlier ones I actually really enjoyed.
It's great cinema, isn't it?
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Looking. Hey, I did. The big reason is it got me into cars.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was younger. But now looking back at it,
You're like,
man,
I
that's
want to work in a dealership
Yeah.
now. No.
It's like, man, look at those cars, and how cheesy they are now. The graphics and neon, but I really respected the guy because he was actually a true car guy.
Oh yeah, he
So,
actually was.
Yeah, and I really kind of liked that aspect of him. He had a really huge car collection, a really unique items in his collection.
And
too.
I'm bagging on him and shit like that, and but he did do a lot of charity work and shit like that too. So that's totally cool. Have you ever worried about your phone being bugged? Ever?
Yeah.
From the government or an ex? Or both?
Man, from anybody. It seems like now, the way technology's going, it seems like anybody can just hack into your shit anytime and just, take your personal information. But that's pretty. That's a scary thing about how fast technology's moving nowadays.
Right.
And and pretty much everybody we live online, all of our information's on there.
Yeah.
And
everything's not only online, but fucking, your fucking Apple Pay and all that shit. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. It is out there. Micah, you ever worried about your phone being bugged?
There was a point in time back when I very first got a cell phone. I was young and I was smoking a lot of weed, and we were.
Now he just doesn't have the cell phone. No.
And we were, weed was really frowned on back then when I was young because, it just wasn't thought of as medical like it is today.
Right.
And so I was worried that somehow the cops would see or hear what I was saying, about buying weed, and we were all like covert and shit,
Right. You had the paranoia.
It's the paranoia.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it was totally the thing of like, taking the long way home to avoid getting fucking stopped, but you're high and you're just fucking taking the long way home because you're paranoid that you're going to get fucking stopped.
And the cops played into it too, because they knew what we were doing down there, but they didn't have enough to get us.
Right.
But they would pull us over all the time and search us. And this was I was working at Pizza Hut at the time.
Oh, of course. I heard a really good thing about this. Like, if you vape or anything like that, or you say you're not smoking in your car, so there's no smell, and you get pulled over, and if they ask you if you're high or anything like that, just tell them you're tired, because they can't test you for it. It's not like a breathalyzer.
Right.
So fucking just tell them that you're tired, and then you get out of a fucking DUI charge with it.
Tired, man.
What about you, Chad?
Yeah, we talked about this in practice recently. Just the fact that you can say certain things out loud in conversation and that they're on your phone randomly later.
Yeah,
that was what got me all crazy.
Yeah.
This is a true story. It's a very silly story, but I was joking with, I think, my daughter or my family, because I do a lot of stupid dad jokes. I'm the king of the dad jokes, and I think I had said something about like we should go camping sometime. That seems pretty intense. So, but this is just a conversation we had, and I opened my phone up later to go on Amazon, and there was a shirt on Amazon that said "Camping is intense." This is about an hour after that conversation, and I was like, "This is spooky." It spooked me. I was like, "This is whoa! Be careful what you're saying," So
see, that's not the dad joke that I heard from that. So, but I'll tell that off.
I heard a different one too.
Yeah, I heard it all. I'll tell it off the air. Jason,
I'm just not that interesting, so I don't really care anymore.
right?
Yeah.
If they want your phone bugged, I mean, you're just talking to me, and
Yeah.
fucking they can just tune into the Metal Forge or the Mudhorn or the
Yeah, they
L
want to
Horn
know
at that point.
just tune in. 'cause
Just fucking go to the Patreon page and at least fucking give me a couple dollars, and then you can tap the phone.
It's usually something stupid and insignificant, like there's too many goddamn shows on weeknights in my fucking area for the next month. I can't go to them all. What am I gonna do?
Right.
And then they're like, hey, you like concerts? Here's some more.
Yeah.
Not even nearby you.
Right.
And it's like, thanks.
Fucking Ticketmaster's the worst about that shit. It's like you look at like, oh, where's this band coming? Oh fuck, the closest they're coming is Nashville, and then I get like a slew of Nashville fucking shit. It's like, god damn it.
It's like you bought a ticket to see Testament. You might like these bands like Turnstile or like
Taylor Swift.
Blink 182. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Come on, algorithms, get with it, man.
Right. What would you want your last meal to be?
Oh, I got it.
Go ahead.
I had some pretty good White Castle earlier.
Wow. Nice.
You would seriously do that?
No, mine would just be like the most. I would just get like a buffet
Yeah.
and just keep eating and stay alive.
Ooh, that's good.
Nice.
Chad, what would you want your last meal to be?
I'd say a steak over an open flame.
Ooh.
Open flame steak.
All right. So you mentioned the S word here.
Yep.
Where's your temperature?
Medium rare.
Okay, you can stay in the room.
Yes. Yes.
Micah,
I would do the same. A giant steak, medium,
you get the fuck out. No, I'm kidding.
and probably a baked potato or something.
Ooh.
No A1.
Oh God, no, never use A1.
A1 is for people who don't know how to cook steaks.
That's exactly right. You know, yeah, steak. I totally would dig on that too. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm a steak person too.
Damn, you're not a well done steak person.
No, my dad is, and it's like eating charcoal, but I'm more of a medium guy. So, but yeah, I would definitely give me a big steak.
Actually, you look kind of diminutive from here. Oh, I'm kidding. I'm just a dick. See, that's how it is. I crack on everybody on here. Last question of the day, but before we get to it, as always, links are listed in the comments below. So please give a like, a share, and a follow. Go buy merch. Go see these guys when they're in your town, whenever that may be, if ever.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. Maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Just Asheville right now.
Just Asheville right now, and Louisville this weekend. Do you have shout outs you want to give to anybody? And not me, because that doesn't work. I'd like to give a shout out to Jason on the Mudhorn. He's seriously, anybody you want to say hey to?
Just our wives and families for letting us get out and be stupid for a weekend, and we really appreciate being able to do that.
So are you? So I lied. This is the other thing. Jason, I know you're married. Are you all married?
No, I'm not.
Well, then why didn't you take that up yesterday?
Yeah, no.
Because we would have had to ride with her.
She could have ridden in the trailer.
I don't think. Yeah.
You got a bed to the truck.
I'm not gonna submit our equipment to her.
Right.
She was a weird one.
Right on. So you're going to be the 40-year-old single dude too, then, right?
Be 36, yeah.
Yeah. See, right on, man.
Getting close. Actually, be 36 tomorrow.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
No shit, man.
We didn't know that.
Well, fuck. It's
Shout out to Ryan. It's his birthday.
yeah.
Shout out to Ryan.
I'm totally gonna bring that shit up on stage later. Fuck yeah.
What was the name of the music store you took us to earlier?
Maxwell's House of Music.
Shout out to Maxwell's too. Those guys were awesome. Thanks for almost getting me divorced today with that EVH I played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, Mike, Bobby.
Oh, yeah.
Tony. They're awesome people.
I'd say the most fun thing about new towns is finding the music store. So I was glad we were going to one today.
Hell yeah, man.
It's a great one. It's one of the better ones I've been to.
And I love that store. And like I said, I've been going there for 25 years, and it's only looked like that for the last couple, since pre-COVID. But like they've had some awesome stuff in there through the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just like I said, it used to be an old movie theater.
Yeah. In those places, you can tell there's a vibe there. You had a lot of kids coming in, playing, which was cool. A lot of younger kids doing lessons, and shout out to all those places in Asheville too around us that we get stuff from. So,
which is funny because I don't know if you all noticed this or not. When we were leaving the music store, there was a kid that was going in for a lesson. And when we were leaving the record store, the kid was at the record store too.
I saw the kid.
Because he was wearing the Cure shirt.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, he was over at the fucking music store.
Yep.
What the fuck?
future rock star.
Hell yeah. And that is one of the good things that they do over there. They had the first widely, circulated rock school program, so where they having kids like 10, 11, 12 to 18 playing in bands, setting them up with people their age and shit like that. It's totally cool. Ryan, and shout outs for you. Shout out to the wife and kids. I mean,
future wife and kids, I guess. Probably the auditorium, because that's a venue down where we're from, and they've been supporting
hell yeah
me ever since I started playing. They've always been extremely good to us. Even me and Chad's old band, they've been extremely good to us. Been good, especially good to you guys, Temptations Wings. So a good 15, 16 years.
So are you still the new guy
Yeah.
in the band? Or are you all both the new guy? Y'all both start at the same time?
Yeah, he's the newest guy.
Yeah, I'm the newest one. So
And how long now?
maybe 4 years.
Oh,
maybe?
wow.
Wow, it's actually
I think 5 or
It's
6.
gonna
It
scare
might
you.
We did the live album in 18
Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah,
So that was 5 years
that's
ago.
about 5,
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that was. You have to
Wow.
remember, we did the live album with a 4-piece. We were a 3-piece before that.
Yeah.
With me, so yeah.
The funny thing is, Ryan was a kind of like an accident because Chad couldn't make a show, so he's like, I think Ryan can fill in for me because we knew him from Through the Fallen. So he played, and Micah texted one night. He's like, I think we should just keep Ryan on bass. We fire in Chad. He's like,
No.
I was kind of I don't know. And he's like, no, we're gonna try to guitar. I was like, oh, yeah, I think that's a pretty good move.
I love when that happens. Actually, that's how we switched members. That was a whole deal where we set up to do the click, and Todd was our drummer, and 1, 2, 3. Todd, do you want me to do it? Yeah, man, you can try it. All right, and we're off to the fucking races. And that's how it was. Last question of the day. When touring, where is the best place to sit in the vehicle?
Oh.
Well, I'm gonna say driving is probably best.
Yeah?
Because you seem like you have the most room and because you need it. But not driving, I would say back seat.
Really? You're not a shotgun?
Well, the back seat, because sometimes you can just sit at an angle and just kind of stretch out that way.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I think I feel if I'm in the front seat, I feel obligated to stay awake for the driver.
Yeah.
So
I get by that.
Typically, in the car, especially music, I prefer to drive because I can stay alert, but I like to sleep typically if I'm not. So it's back seat. But if I'm in the front, you're always like, hey, gotta make sure this guy's awake. You okay? You okay? You okay? You okay? You good? That was our Doomfest tour. We did, what was that stretch of drive? We did the last day on that. It was like a Sunday.
yeah.
8 hours.
Yeah, it's like an 8-hour drive back.
8 or 9, 7 or 8 hour drive straight back from Doomfest right after the show. So there was a full day. I don't think we slept at all the night before. We tried to, we couldn't. So, and right after the show, an 8-hour drive. And I just remember getting back, we're getting close to the border, and we've already swapped out as many times to the driver's seat, and we're having trouble. Everybody's nodding off. You'd be sitting there in the front seat, and you'd nod off a second, and then you hear the rumble strips hit, and you're like, we good? We going off a cliff?
Yeah, shout out to Rumble Strips.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, shout out to rumble strips.
Oh.
Because, when you get back to Asheville, if you cross that guardrail, there's a good chance you're taking a pretty good plummet to the bottom of the mountains.
Oh, fuck. No shit.
Yeah.
Micah, best place to sit? You seem like you're the driver.
If not driving, then my second choice would be Navigator, because you also get control of the radio.
Ooh, yeah, see?
Yeah, I did all the playlists yesterday for the.
Y'all listened to the Metal Forge the whole time, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. And of course, this is the exact opposite version of the Metal Forge, where people usually fast forward through Jason's segments.
Yeah.
You fast forwarded through all of mine and just listen to his, right? Ryan?
Yeah, I'm a shotgun person if I can. Yeah.
I love the shotgun seat. Unless it's like some kind of weird fucking vehicle. I'm shotgunner driver.
Yeah.
I get it. Totally. Dudes, hell yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. We're at an hour and 5 minutes of talking bullshit. Yeah, fucking, we had an 8-hour drive 2 times, from our deal, from our last tour, where it's like fucking the next day is an 8-hour drive so we didn't get any fucking like scenic time at fucking in Milwaukee. We ate at Culver's when we got there, went and played a show, went back to the hotel, and then fucking left at like 9 in the morning and got to the other fucking venue at 6. So,
Nice.
yeah, fucking rough shit.
Well,
Dude,
it's like a working vacation, man. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
absolutely it is. So...
On a cliff high above the seashore lies a cave of renown. Snakes' eyes and tortured statues, swords into the ground. We're trained and honed our senses, for we must fight them blind. One gaze and the snake dispenses the fate of a petrified kind. Fight without sight in the lair of the Golden Queen. Strike with our mind in the lair of the Golden Queen. Kill or you die in the lair of the Golden Queen. Fight for your life in the lair of the Golden Queen. In a rage, the queen is awakened. A man is struck down with great force, and the ground is shaken. Men fall all around.
In 2017, one man's vision and passion for all things metal started out as a record store in his house. Years later, the fight against a mainstream empire continues as Shade Beast. An independent metal collective and online store based in Athens, Georgia, is the world's premier heavy metal brand for music heads that value authenticity over the mainstream acceptance. Featuring original t-shirts from some of the best underground artists, as well as stickers, posters from the Shade Beast Presents concert series. Unique, one-of-a-kind collectibles and small curated selection of vinyl and cassettes from the masters old and new. Visit shadebeast.com and enter promo code SithLord for free domestic shipping on your first order, whether you're a new customer or returning. And be sure to join the Shade Beast social groups on Facebook and the interwebs to keep up with the new release announcements and talk all things metal and Star Wars. You'll never find a more wretched hive of scum and filth.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Since 2013, there has been a calling from the underground, from the graves of all those unholy, and they decided to make a zine to talk about all of this. Soul Grinder Zine! An independent metal zine to keep you informed on all things metal and horror from the underground. Available in both print and digital formats, they're bringing you the best interviews and reviews out there today. Not only do they do the zine, but they also do compilation CDs. Check them out at facebook.com/soulgrinder.zine and start your subscription now.
Hey everybody, let me tell you about the new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Unchained Tapes. They're an independent Pennsylvania tape label. They focus on extreme metal and punk with a killer approach to the tape scene. Visit their web store at unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com now to get your fill of tapes. And for being a Metal Forge listener, enter the code METALFORGE10 at checkout to get a 10% discount on your total purchase. That's unchainedtapes.bigcartel.com.
What's up, Metal Forge fans? This is Alan Bishop, the alchemist of Indiana's Black Forest and head distiller at Spirits of French Lick. Do you find yourself drawn to the unexplained, fascinated by the Fortean, or enchanted by the paranormal? If the things that go bump in the night resonate in your mind, then tune into my brand new podcast, If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything. Featuring first-hand accounts, collected stories, interviews, history, and speculation related to all things not of this world. Available now on Anchor, Spotify, Google, Amazon, and more. Set back, relax, and remember, if you have ghosts, you have everything.
Hey, let me tell you guys about Mercenary Press. They're an independent London label and distributor of all things metal. Mercenary Press delivers the goods from their own independent zine. Trust me, you're going to want to get in on that. To distributing various bands from all over the world, including Cramp from Spain and Sadistic Force from Texas. Visit mercenarypress.bigcartel.com to find out what all they have in stock and what you can order. And for Metal Forge listeners, enter code MetalForge10 to receive a discount on your total purchase at mercenarypress.bigcartel.com. Check it out now.
Hey Metalheads, it's with great pleasure I get to tell you guys about a new sponsor to the Metal Forge, Ageless Art, New Albany. After 20 years of owning and operating Ageless Art in Clarksville, Indiana, Phil Garrett had a vision for a new type of tattoo studio. Something that is clean and modern, sleek, refined, inviting. And he's done just that with Ageless Art in New Albany. You can find it at 2736 Charlestown Road, New Albany, Indiana, 47150. Business hours are Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sundays are 12 to 6. All sessions are appointment only, so give them a call and go get you some new ink. Or if it's your first time, go get your first one, baby.